Good afternoon, folks. Good afternoon. A fast question. Are soldiers' characters boring? I guess they are boring in some ways to some people, but it's like depends on the writer. Good writer can make a boring character interesting, and a bad writer could make an interesting character boring. It's a matter of things. Not all writers can be experts in every thing. Some writers are better with character stuff, others are better with action stuff, others are better with romance, All our brains work differently, so it makes sense that writing would be different. Unless you're like a plagiarist. Let's see here, didn't think there were any corporals in here. He's alive over there. There by at the hospital. Yetters replied, pointing out Dominique. Dominique, for a normal-looking guy, seemed to stand out for some reason. Ray wasn't sure why. Perhaps it was those Vert family genes. Like genes of his. When you saw him, you knew there was more to him than met the eye. More to him than met the eye. Than what met the eye. Met the eye. Is that proper grammar? Is that right? Then meets the eye. Then meets the eye? More to him than meets the eye. Meets the eye. What a strange statement that is. I mean, what meets the eye? Who came up with that? Really scratches the head. Tickles the brain. There's more. I'll probably die of a stroke someday pondering a phrase like that. Let's see. A shame, though. That Dominique didn't have a few secret superhuman powers. And have some secret power. Great doubt he would have kept it hidden till this point. Kept it hidden when things started going crazy. Plus he was a vet of a world war as well. The guy didn't have powers. The guy had powers in that war. He would have used them. Dominique was examining corpses under white blankets. Bloody ones, judging by the amount of gore staining the white. There were plenty of uncovered corpses lying around. Palmer, Gray, and the others got close and saw that the dead people under the sheets should be blankets. No, I mean it should be sheets. A blanket is a bit thicker than a sheet. Usually dead people are covered by sheets. I don't know where that came from, or if they still use sheets in morgues and stuff. Usually you see they cover people in ugly plastic looking stuff now that just looks undignified. A corpse should be treated like something sacred in my view. It should be covered with a nice blanket, maybe with prayers written on it or religious symbols or something, so that, like they did in the old days when they provided comfort to the dead by protecting them with spells written on the things they wrap the bodies in. You know what I mean? I'm just rambling. I'm just saying, you don't treat a corpse with respect. It's not a far leap to treat sick people with disrespect, or old people, and then, you're treating all life without respect. life is like something that should be respected. And the sheets were civilians, not soldiers. Included some scientists and some maintenance man and some guy in a suit and tie. Who could have been anyone. He's not just anyone. Gray thought. Scolded himself. That guy was somebody's brother or father or son or all the above. That at once. There were people who were going to find out in a day or two that he was dead, and it was going to be the worst day of their life. Maybe the end of all happiness. And that went the same for everyone else killed. Everyone back home was nervous about their boys being stationed on the Jade continent. Jade continent. Even. I should make sure gray is capitalized. Sometimes it's not. I mean, when it's a proper name, yeah, it's capitalized, but, you know, I can't count on Word to automatically capitalize that. It's the same with Jade. Yeah, I gotta stop sniffling. It'll irritate my nose and I'll have an allergy attack. Last night I had an allergy attack when I saw something that really uplifted my spirits. I don't know why. Maybe just allergic to happiness. Boys being stationed even before this uprising started. Thanks to various bloody incidents in the not too distant past. Well before this uprising started. With this attack, it seemed their worst fears were realized. Dominique seemed to be in a trance. A trance as he lifted up sheets and studied the dead faces underneath, or what was left of them. The last body belonged to some lady scientist with what looked like red hair at first. Oh, red hair. At least that's what Gray thought at first. The blood. The girl was actually blonde. I don't know if it's a secret relationship or not. The girl was actually blonde. The girl was actually, at least that's what I thought at first. The girl was actually blonde and there was just so much blood hair that it appeared all to be mostly red. The girl's face had been blasted off by rifle fire. He probably went instantly. Dominique didn't flinch, seeing her ruined face, her ruined, hole-ridden face. Gray imagined that most civilians, seeing that, would have puked their guts out. Barely got a grimace. A look from the grimace. Let's see. Good work to McDonald's. Grimace does sound like the name of you'd name a creature. It doesn't sound like an expression at all. So many weird words in English. I've been trying to make up some for my stories, but you know, it's tough to come up with weirder names than they really are in English. Puke their guts out. They barely got a look from Dominique. Gray only felt a slight electric tingle down in his belly and a message in his brain. Any normal person would throw up seeing that, as Gray's brain told him. You should be throwing your guts. You should be puking. What are you looking for? Sergeant Palmer asked Dominique. Dominique put the sheet back over the body and stood up before addressing Lute Palmer. Should I say Lute Palmer more? Wow, I got a lot of writing ideas lately. I mean, corrections lately. I'm being a little OCD, I think. I'm looking for Nina, my girlfriend. She's a scientist. Dominique said there were plenty of girl scientists running around, but mostly men in their white, though blood-stained coats. Why do you think she's dead? Palmer asked. I don't know. I guess it's my nature to assume the worst, Dominique replied. A look of relief crossed Dominique's uneasy features. Perhaps she is alive, he wondered out loud. Maybe somebody's seen her. She's probably fine, Palmer replied, rather dismissively. This is just how the sausage is made, folks. Just the basic stuff today, I guess. Gotta go from point A to point B. If you come up with a cool twist eventually, well, I guess all this plotting is almost like stalling for time for that, you know? I already got my ideas for the twists and turns in this story. Not a whole lot of them, but you know, maybe some cool set pieces here and there, for the most part. Most of the story is pretty straightforward. I try to use real life as an example, though maybe that's a cop-out to say. Real life, there aren't plot twists, yeah? Well, in real life people are a lot more complicated than any fictional people. Take any real life Homer Simpson, there's probably more to him than 90% of the fictional characters in fiction, in all genres. Of course, you might get more attached to a fictional character than you would any real person, but that's the case with some people. I wouldn't mind people getting that attached to my fictional characters, but then they might start making crazy demands of me. Like, you gotta change this, gotta change this, and I'm gonna change a goddamn thing. Any changes I make will be my decisions. If you want to change the character up, there's fan fiction where you can make an XP version of them, you know. Let's see. She's probably fine, sensibly. The place is huge. Why wouldn't... There's no reason she would have left it and gone running out among the soldiers. A thought crossed Dominique's mind. It was visible. It was as visible on his face as a flash of light as the sun in the sky. Where's Mr. Her brother's a sergeant. Was her brother a sergeant? Why do I have Nina's name here, but not... where's Sergeant Kneecask? Dominic muttered to himself. He checked among the dead and the living, quickly, soon finding a lieutenant who knew an answer, or something close to it. Haven't seen Kneecask since this all started, the lieutenant admitted. Where's the last place you saw him? Dominique asked, sounding to Gray like some hard-boiled detective trying to sweat a perp. Trying to sweat a perp. The Luke regarded Dominique stoically with disinterest. Last time I heard, he was at the barracks. The Luke said, was his sister with him? Just a second. I'm back, folks. Just pouring myself a drink. Working on sculpture too. Not at the same time as I'm writing and typing. I'm just trying to debate myself if I want a more dynamic pose or just the standing still like you'd see a statue in a park. You know, something more dynamic might look good. You know, show off more of the female body type. You know, with the long legs and the kind of like, I don't know, crooked pose with like high-heeled shoes. It's hard to make the feet right so that they stand upright, you know. His sister with him. The lady scientist, Nina. Kneecast. Possibly. Luke agreed. I gotta go. See if I can find her. Dominique said to Palmer. Palmer gave him a stern look. That's not gonna happen. Palmer said. You gotta stay here. Us. No point in rowing back out there. Nobody's going back out there. We got a security entrance for the guys coming back. She's the love of my life. Ray expected Dominique to look angry in reply, but he looked mostly pretty neutral, with his eyes a bit bigger and more frantic than usual. She's the love of my life. Play a flute, Palmer. Dominique said, his voice much sterner sounding than his face looked. Shame there's not a market for novelizing 90s era video games. I'd jump on that train like a hobo driving to a free buffet. Not that any place would let a hobo in for a buffet. Even if he had money, probably, you know. what do they say? No shirt, no shoes, no service. That's if that's legal, it's probably legal to refuse a hobo. Let's see, just turn his face select. I can't leave her out there. I'll risk court-martial. 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 Palmer asked, I might just kill you. Shoot you if you try to leave. Gray thought they were past. They were past the era of military era where men could just be shot for at dawn for cowardice, desertion. The Jade killed about 2 billion people not too long ago. There probably wasn't enough. Huh? Did I get started earlier today? Usually it's 12:40 at this point when I'm writing. There probably wasn't enough people in. There weren't enough people left. Enough people left on Earth to just execute people. People for cowardice, insubordination. Yeah, congratulations on surviving, Gray. You're one of the billion or so people left who wasn't killed by the Jade. It's only gonna get worse, though, considering the stuff I got planned for the world. So, and why not trash the world? Because it's my universe, I can do what I want. Other people might get invested, but it's my decision. It's like somebody might like your house, but if I wanted to, I could burn my house down. No one could say a thing about it. Is it legal to burn down your own house? I don't know. Probably. You probably get sued by your neighbors. Let's see. Putting their lives at risk. I think you can sue someone for putting your life at risk unnecessarily. I think you can sue for literally anything, now that I think about it. But if you actually win a lawsuit or get any money, that's another thing, Well, lawsuits are very expensive from what I heard. Like, just to get, you need like hundreds of thousands just to get past the discovery stage. Court-martial. I might just shoot you if you try to leave. Even if the girl isn't with Sergeant Nisak. I got to rescue him, at least. Something he said. He's my future brother-in-law. I can't look at Nina again without looking at him if I didn't do something to save him. Or try to save him. Gray almost added. It was then that another crowd of soldiers came in through the hangar entrances. They were all Jade. They were all Zedans. They were all Zedans. Many of them grazed and bloodied. Most were of the Conian race, and the few who weren't, clearly weren't. A few who weren't. And Sergeant Nikask was not among those who weren't. It was a shame in Gray's mind, since Mika's presence could have diffused the current situation. Of course, what's his name? Dominique would have still wanted to go out to find Nina, if Nina was out there. For all they knew, Nina was sitting up in some cozy apartment deep within the facility, drinking a cup of cocoa, of hot cocoa. Somehow, Gray doubted it. They won't want to go with me? Dominique asked his men. I'll go with you, Gray replied instantly. Wasn't sure why. He just felt like he couldn't pass another opportunity to show his mettle to the world. He'd almost see himself as some old man off in the future, telling his grandkids what he did during the attack at the base. All he could say now, at the moment, was, I went off, I shot a bunch of bad guys, and got a box found a box of smoke grenades. Rescuing a scientist. Adding, I rescued a scientist to that would give the story a lot more meat. Adding, you're all in deep shit. You even think about it. I'm going with him. Palmer growled, and it was at the squad. And it was clear that Palmer had no intention of stopping Dominique. He just wanted to put him in the stockade afterwards. There you go. Well, that's a good line. Good line. Delicious. Okay, folks, it's 28 minutes in. See you later. Have a nice day. Enjoy your weekend.